Hello and welcome to my Keeper of the Light jungling guide. My name is Boneless, and in this video I will show you how to efficiently jungle Keeper of the Light on the dire side, and then I will talk about what I think is the pros and cons of jungling Keeper of the Light. Firstly, I cut down the trees, and I like to leave these two big trees in the middle here, because they're easy to cut down later while I'm stacking. The idea is basically to create a big path so you can stack the medium camp and the hard camp at the same time every minute, and in between that farm the rune camp again and again. I start off by charging up my Illuminate already at 28. I do this because if I get either wolves or satyrs, then I can kill the camp with 2 Illuminates right away before stacking the medium camp and the hard camp. And to stack these two camps at the same time, your projectile must hit the creeps at 53 on the hard camp, and on the medium camp the projectile must hit at 55. You have to be very precise with these timings in order to pull out the stacks later on when the camps get a lot bigger. If you charge up your first Illuminate at 28 like I did, and you get Mud Golems, then it's not really such a big waste of mana, because in case of Mud Golem, it's gonna be a while before you even use your mana anyway. So this way you either win big by getting a free camp, or you lose nothing basically. No matter what creeps spawn in the rune camp from this point on, you will be able to kill it in time to stack the medium camp and the hard camp again every minute. Just hurry back to the rune camp right after you stack so you are in position to kill the camp fast enough, even if it should spawn Mud Golems. The position of my hero here is very important, because in addition to killing off these wolves here, I'm also killing off some creeps in the medium camp with this Illuminate. I needed to stand at that exact spot because I needed to be in XP range of the creeps dying in the medium camp. So you should be careful not to tank too much damage, but it's okay if you tank a little bit, because it's more important that you make sure that you are in XP range of the creeps dying in the other medium camp. And again here I am very careful about my positioning. It would be such a shame if I wasn't in XP range of all these creeps dying in the medium camp. I need every single bit of XP in order to get my fast level 5. I have divided this jungle guide into 3 steps. I'm just about to finish step 2 because I'm almost level 5 already, and then I can start on step 3. The name of the game is to get to level 5 as soon as possible, because then you can easily kill the massive hard camp stack with your level 3 Illuminate. If you're very close to level 5, then you can also start killing the hard camp stack, because with your level 2 Illuminate you can kill all the small creeps in the stack, at which point you will reach your level 5 and then you can kill the rest of the stack with your level 3 Illuminate. In this example I got pretty lucky with the creeps. I got either the wolves or the satyrs in the very first rune camp, which there's a 40% chance of, and also I didn't get any Mud Golems in the medium camp. In this example I get my level 7 at 5 minutes flat, which is extremely fast. I will talk more about the items later, but in this example I get Midas at 6:45 even after buying all the support items. But what if I'm not so lucky with the creeps? Let's look at an example where I'm extremely unlucky with the creep spawn. In this example I didn't get either satyrs or wolves in the very first rune camp, so when this happens here's a nice trick. I stop attacking for just a moment and then I pull the creeps at 43, because then when they rub back to their camp it's gonna be 53, at which point I can pull them again from all the way up here. The projectile should hit the rune camp at 53 and the other medium camp at 55. So now I have both centaurs and ogres in this rune camp, which is fine, because if you use all of your mana, then you can still kill them in time to stack the medium camp plus hard camp. Just remember to right click the creeps with the highest HP so you get the most out of your Illuminate. So now I'm back on track and my levels didn't suffer, even though I didn't get the satyrs or the wolves in the beginning. So if you should get Mud Golems in the medium camp, you have 2 choices. Either you just leave them be and farm the other creeps around the Mud Golem like I did in this example here, or you can just kill them with auto attacks. When you get a bad start like I got in this example, you might want to stack one more time before you clear the hard camp. At this point the trees have just grown back, so this time I've cut down a few trees here, so this way I can still stack the medium camp and the hard camp at the same time while going north. So as you can see in this example, I get triple Mud Golems in the medium camp, which is ridiculously unlucky. So out of 6 possible spawns in the medium camp, I get 3 Mud Golem camps. And keep in mind that the same type of creeps will never spawn there 2 times in a row, and even if the Mud Golems didn't just spawn there a minute ago, then it's only a 20% chance that Mud Golems will spawn. So somebody out there do the math on this, but bottom line, it is very unlikely that you will be this unlucky when you try this out. So even without satyrs or wolves in the very first rune camp, and even with triple Mud Golems in the medium camp, then it's still possible to get your level 7 at 6 minutes flat, which is still faster than most junglers out there. In the first two examples here, I have been buying all the support items. But if your other support should be buying all the support items, then you can get your first item very fast, like a 5-minute Midas or a 5 to 6 minute mechanism. Not only can you get a super fast mechanism, but you can get it on a hero that can actually support the mana cost of mechanism thanks to chakra magic. If you wish to check out my Keep of the Light speedrun, where I farm mechanism in just below 5 minutes, you can find it both on Hexa's channel and on my channel. With this strategy you farm around 2600 gold very quickly, and what you spend it on is entirely up to you. With this 2.5k gold you can go for either 4-staff, mechanism, Midas, blink dagger, eels, or a very fast boots of travel is also a very good choice. Or you can choose to get your first 2 components for scepter if you want to go in that direction. In the examples you saw here, I bought these starting items. The great thing about SLR jungling is that you don't need a specific item build up to increase your jungle speed. Just a Quilling Blade, a Clarity, a GG branch, and that's it. In this lobby example I just left the wards on the ground in the base. In a real game these wards are of course intended for the other support plus maybe the offlaner. After you have completed the jungle pattern you can choose to sell your Quilling Blade again, but I like to hang on to it because with it I can hide in sneaky places in the tree line, so I can get off some unexpected illuminates when defending towers for example. The one Ironwood branch you get in the beginning is also very important, because it provides you with just enough mana so you have 2 illuminates right off the bat, so you can kill off the room camp right away in case you get satyrs or wolves, which there is a 40% chance of getting. 2 clarity potions is what I think is needed for the strategy if you manage to not get them cancelled right away. You can see in the first replay here exactly when I choose to use my clarity potions. In this replay I start with only 1 clarity, but what I do is I make the courier bring me an extra clarity potion, as well as a TP scroll and a smoke of deceit as soon as I can afford it around 1.5 minutes into the game. If you do it like me and make the courier bring you a TP, a smoke and an extra clarity potion, then make sure to communicate with your mid lane, because it is of course more important that he gets his bottle as soon as possible. So either use the courier right before he gets his bottle or right after he gets his bottle. You will still have plenty of gold to upgrade the courier 3 minutes into the game if you wish to do so. Skill points. You need the level 3 Illuminate as fast as possible, so until level 5 use a skill Keep of the Light like this. After level 5 you're free to skill whatever you want. I like to leave Illuminate at level 3 and start to level up Mana Leak. Keep of the Light in pub games and team games. I think it is pretty safe to run Keep of the Light jungle in a pub game. It is not very often you see the enemy support duo smoke ganking your woods within the first 5 minutes of the game to kill off a Keep of the Light. And you almost never see this level 1 clash in pub games, which means you got plenty of time to cut down your trees. Keep of the Light is quite good in pub games, but I think the hero truly shines when you play him with a team, so you can communicate and time the stuns with the illuminated damage. Also you know when people actually want to be recalled, and you can help your team to split push and rat in late game. Keep of the Light jungling can definitely be used in a team game. He can get the early support items, he can smoke gank, he can teleport to the offlane to prevent the enemy from pushing down your tier 1 tower, or he can even leave the jungle to help out the lanes if necessary. In a team game however, you might end up in this level 1 clash over the rune or the jungle control, in which case it might be hard for you to cut down the necessary trees in time. What are the pros and cons of running a Keep of the Light in the jungle? If you pull off this jungle style correctly, you can get levels ridiculously fast. If you rush the naked Midas without getting any support items, then this is quite possibly the fastest way to get levels in the game. Levels on Keep of the Light is good because it means faster mana leak, faster high levels in chakra magic for your carries, and also you can get enough levels in Illuminate to really slow down enemy pushes. Also the Midas can help you to transition into these really big items like Scepter, Hex or Necrophos. You can get your first item very fast. For example, a fast mechanism, or possibly even a fast scepter, then suddenly Keeper of the Light can be used in pushing strategies, as he can wave clear easily and sustain the push by providing healing and mana to the team. You can of course also give the stack to your carry. You don't necessarily have to farm it yourself. I'm sure your mid Shadow Fiend wouldn't mind getting a piece of that hardcam stack. Keeper of the Light is a very flexible jungler. You can gank, you can stop early enemy pushes, you can leave the jungle to help out your lanes if necessary. Keeper of the Light is like an Enigma or a Chen in a lot of ways. You only need a tiny bit of items to get started. All you need is a Quilling Blade, 2 Clarities, a GG branch and that's it. This means that you are free to buy all the early support items, which is great because this means you can free up your other support to get the level 1 boots if you want to. What are the downsides of running a Keeper of the Light in the jungle? First of all, this technique works best on dire side. Keep of the Light can jungle pretty fast on the Radiant side, sure, but if you want to utilize his Highground technique to get these extremely fast level timings, then it can only be done on the Dire side. But I haven't worked on this on the Radiant side yet, so let me know in the comments if you want to see a speedrun for the Radiant side as well. It is a bit clunky to cut down so many trees before the creeps spawn, especially if you end up with these level 1 clashes. You can solve this problem by having somebody on your team with tree cutting abilities. You can get ganked. I would make the argument that all junglers can get ganked, that is just how the game is. But with Chen or Enigma for example, you are capable of defending yourself a bit better with the chain creeps or the Ardalans plus Malefes. If you get caught in the jungle with Keeper of the Light, then it is pretty hard for you to get away. Usually the first rotation of the enemy supports is targeted against your core heroes, like your mid lanes for example. So if they really want to smoke gank you in the jungle, then it means they are not smoke ganking your mid lane. The skill cap of this style of jungling is very high. I would say this is a disadvantage, because it means that if you want to use this to great effect, it does require some practice. So if you try this out and this is difficult for you, then it's perfectly fine, because this style of jungling requires even very good players to practice in a lobby game. The more you practice, the faster you can get your levels. In fact, on a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 being the easiest and 10 being the hardest, I would give this a 7. Will Keeper of the Light jungle ever see play in a pro game? Occasionally, some teams use Keeper of the Light as a dedicated lane support, but it does happen from time to time that pros straight up jungle Keeper of the Light to get the levels up as fast as possible. For example, I've seen Poppy jungle Keeper of the Light from time to time. However, the pros doesn't do it quite like me. Even though I released the SLO speedrun in 2013, I haven't really seen anybody else jungle like this. So either it's because the pros are not aware that you can jungle Keeper of the Light like this, or maybe they just don't want to take the time to really get into this because they have too much on their plates already and Keeper of the Light only gets picked on rare occasions. Or maybe they just feel it is too clunky to cut down all the trees with a Quilling Blade. Maybe now that I've released this jungle guide, people will actually start to jungle this way, which I would really like. It would be cool to see the pros begin to use my technique to jungle Keeper of the Light, because the way I see it, if you jungle Keeper of the Light anyway, you might as well do it the fastest way possible. This has been my Keeper of the Light jungling guide. I plan to do some more speedruns on Keeper of the Light so you guys can see exactly what to do in case of mod golems and stuff like that. Developing this technique was my pet project in 2013. Originally I thought of this intended for Crystal Maiden, then I tried it out on a bunch of different heroes and finally I realized that Keeper of the Light can use this technique to great effect. Let me know what you guys think. What can I do better for next time? You can reach me on bonelessdota@gmail.com, and also I'm reading all the comments you make to my videos. From now on, I will attempt to weekly upload new content to my channel Bonelessdota, and new jungle guides will be released around once per month, something like that. I intend to make jungle guides for a bunch of heroes that can use this technique to great effect, and also I intend to make a bunch of jungle guides where I use some completely different techniques. So if you want to see incoming content and if you want to support me, then you can subscribe to my channel. It really does help me. Remember to check out my own personal friend Kappa, also known as Beatz, who composed the piano music for this video. And while we're at it, check out Evan Duffy, who did the Monstercat live piano mix, which I'm using in the Drow Ranger videos. Thanks to Monstercat Media, and especially thanks to the CDK who provided this awesome piece of music that you can hear in the credits. Remember to check out my channel, and remember to check out Hex's channel. Thanks for watching.